Hey, beautiful people. I am Shemeka Wright, and this is Balanced Life. So this week we are talking about the discomfort that comes with change. Changing people, changing places, changing things. And a lot of times we want, when we make that decision to have a change, for it to be easy, for it to happen immediate, and for it to be comfortable. And none of those things applies when you're trying to make real change. So we are going to talk about how change in all things is a journey, and we are only going to reference it with where we are today, because you know that in a journey there is continuous growth. So where we are today in that discomfort, how it is that we're handling it, and how it is that we are going to get ourselves to our next level. But before we get into that, our candle of the week is the bamboo and coconut candle. So the bamboo and coconut candle has notes of spearmint, pineapple, bamboo, green floral, coconut, milk, and coconut. So just imagine yourself in a tropical oasis, and you're laying there, you're hearing the wind blow, and there is the rustle of bamboo leaves. You smell the sweetness in the air, and it is coconut. And you look over and realize, that's my candle. Yes, that's the bamboo and coconut candle from BU Candles. So I invite you to get yourself one. There will be a link to it in the description. And if you have already gotten yourself one, I want to know what you think. Okay, so let's get into the discomfort that comes with change in people, places, and things, and how it be kicking our butt sometimes, child. The discomfort that comes along with change. Before we can even get to any form of change, we have to become self-aware. Self-awareness can be one of the biggest and hardest steps to take when you are going through a change with yourself. So I have been told in my coaching sessions, because I do believe that I have shared before that I have a coach. I have a life coach, and her and I, we meet every week. And she has shared with me how very self-aware I am. Self-aware in my rights, self-aware in my wrongs, self-aware in my areas of improvement. Sometimes, I will be honest with you, it can be a little bit overwhelming to be that self-aware. How I got to this point didn't start with a life coach. It actually started with therapy. So going through therapy and learning my triggers, realizing the things that in my life that made me uncomfortable, and figuring out why I was the way I was, how it is that I responded, why it is that I responded in certain ways to certain things. Once those blinders come off, it can be quite overwhelming to how self-aware you are of yourself. So much so that I think that once some people become self-aware, rather than continuing through with that journey, they scurry back and go back to what is comfortable. But as we have seen on plenty memes and countless books and podcasts alike, you can't get to the place you're supposed to be if you're remaining in a comfort zone. And that applies to the people that you hang around, the places that you go or live, and the things that you say or do. So self-awareness is one of the first things that has to happen, and then allowing yourself to be willing to go through what that self-awareness is going to reveal for you, because you're not going to like it. Okay, you're not going to like it. The reason why I know for sure you're not going to like it is because you're going to have all of this uncomfortableness that's going through your body, because we condition ourselves to be a certain way, to accept and do certain things, and there is a period on it. Everyone does this with certain things in their lives. It is a point blank period. There is no one that is an exception to that. There are people that are hardcore, steadfast in certain things, certain places, certain people. And when you're going through this self-awareness, it can deeply conflict with the things that you have always known to be true for yourself. And that's another thing, is a truth. It's the truth that we have been telling ourselves about certain places, people, or things, and what the actual truth is once the veil is off and you are more self-aware. So like I said, it can be very overwhelming, okay? Because once you get to that point, now you have to make decisions. If you are not deciding to continue and go forth in that self-awareness, the decisions that you have to then make is to assess what's going on in your life, in your immediate circle, and whether or not it is serving the direction that you are now going. Unfortunately, that can come with loss of people, because this is on your journey to peace, whatever it is that peace looks like for you. This is on your journey to peace. This is your evolution. Okay. So that self-awareness, that was the first part of my journey. And it wasn't something that I woke up and I was like, oh, you know what? Today I'm going to be self-aware. It didn't happen like that. I didn't even realize I was so self-aware. What it was is that I started being honest about the way that I was. And when you're honest about the way that you are, first and foremost in the mirror to yourself, and then also with others, it takes a different approach, if you will. So over time, now I think that I have shared, but if not, I will repeat. My mental health journey, if you will, is about 10 years old now, just diving in deeper, understanding that whatever it is that I have experienced, however it is that I grew up at a certain point, I am responsible for taking the lead in managing things. You no longer can blame things on your upbringing or how it is that they went or what someone did to you, etc. At a certain point, you have to choose. You have to choose what you want for your life to look like from this point forward without letting the residuals of past experiences dictate how it is that you are going to feel fulfilled in the future. So 10 years into this, and I probably say, it's money well spent. Okay? Because I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better, and I'm completely aware of who it is that I am. Now, with that self-awareness, then you start to assess what's going on. It has required for me to end friendships. There are friendships that I had long ago that had to end because I realized that there were some people that were in my life who really gravitated towards when the things were going wrong. And so they fed off of that. And so when you feed off of that, then of course when you don't know what it is that you're dealing with, you can mistake that as support. When actually it's a person who they need that form of negativity in order to thrive, and you were just feeding it, but you didn't know. So my experience in the people regard was that I had to realize that there were people that I was having in my life that I was like, you know what? No, this doesn't feel good. And what confirmed it is that when I started to make different life changes, I'm now more happier. Then there's people who are saying to me that, oh, well, what's wrong with you? What's going on with you? You're doing what? You're doing this, because now I'm making them uncomfortable. I'm moving on after my divorce and now I'm dating. Oh, why are you moving so fast? Where, everything that I'm now doing is making someone else uncomfortable, because all the times that I was sitting there crying, depressed, and all that jazz, they were perfectly okay with it. Right? So you have to realize when you are self-aware in the people aspect, who are really there supporting you versus those who are thriving and energizing off of your pain. They gotta go. Places. The places that you frequent is going to dictate the way that you interact. So if you are trying to elevate. You are not going to be able to elevate if you are constantly recycling the same places that have you in the space that you are now. You have to do the work. There is work that happens on so many levels. There's work that happens mentally. There's work that happens physically. You have to be intentional with how it is that you are going to grow through this discomfort every single time. It is so very easy to fall back into the mundane. I am guilty. I am a creature of habit. And when I say I have to be laser focused in order not to do something on a routine, I mean that in my soul, because I am structured based. But that's something that I continuously try to work on. And it's something that I am not even close to feeling like I got the hang of. Spontaneity. I don't have that. But that's why I said I speak from the place of where I am now, where it is that I'm trying to go. There is a path. I see it. I'm on my way. But there are little baby steps that needs to happen. I can't just take a big leap, big jump. It drives me insane. So I do little things. One thing at a time. And when I tell you little, I mean like if there's a certain route that I would normally drive to the store, I'm now getting into the habit of taking myself on another route just to not be so meticulous. It starts small. Just to give you an example, okay? So the places that you go. So if they are, try a different grocery store, okay? Try a different store. Shop someplace else. If there are, say you like to go to rooftops, okay? Okay, you like to go to rooftops. Now, guess what? Try the beach. Maybe you aren't a person who ever really liked the water because you were afraid you were going to drown or something like that. Don't go too close to the water. Stand in the sand. It's just little things like that is what you would really be surprised what happens as you take little steps like that help you in your growth journey. So we did people, we did places, we did things. So the things that you eat can definitely change. How it is that your growth is looking like. That can be discomfort. Trying something new, even if you don't like it. Okay. So I am going to give another example. I'm a person who leans on vegetables, salads, fish, and chicken. That's my thing. Okay. I like any kind of variation of that. I don't like hummus. Okay. But hummus is supposed to be one of those things that are good for you if it's made right? So I've tried hummus a few times, not my thing. I don't like it. My point is that I'm trying a new thing. We're trying something new. And whether or not you see immediate results from something, it's the fact that you took the initiative to try something new to get you on a new path. Everything that we do in this world is on energy and it's on frequency. And so if there is something new that you want to experience, whether it's making you uncomfortable or not, you can take small baby steps just to start that ripple effect. Just like any person that starts a new job, they are always a newbie, but eventually they work there so long, you would have never known that when they started on their first day, they had no idea what it was that they were doing. That's exactly what life is like in this journey when we are dealing with discomfort. Keep that as a train of thought. If I'm trying something new, if I'm interacting with new people, trying to find what this life is looking like for me at this point based off of where I see myself going, it's okay to be the new guy. It's okay not to know how to navigate. It's okay. And that is something that's very important to tell yourself. Just because you're feeling uncomfortable, that absolutely does not mean that it's wrong. It doesn't mean that you don't know what you're doing. It's just you're the new guy on the job. It's going to take a little time to learn. And with anything, with repetition and consistency, you will ultimately end up being the exact person that you saw yourself being before. You'll end up being that person now. So my current discomfort is unlearning some relationship habits. And a relationship habit that I have is, depending on a tone of how it is that someone is speaking to me, I can feel attacked. And one of the things that it takes for me to recycle through is to stop and see who the person is that's speaking to me. Don't automatically assume that I'm being attacked. The person that's speaking to me, is it coming to me from a person that loves me, from a person that cares for me, for a person that means well by me? This is something I've had to unlearn, and I continuously do. And sometimes I fall short because I immediately want to go into, I immediately want to get there, but then I'm having to check myself. Sis, I will sis myself real quick. Okay, sis, be easy. Wait a minute. Who is it coming from? That doesn't mean that I don't get an attitude. Don't mean I won't get pissed off, but it does mean that I will check myself, allow myself to bring it down, and then come back when I'm in a better space to have a level-headed conversation. This has taken practice. So I'm saying it might sound easy, but when I tell you, no, this is years and it's continuous, because yes, I do. I sometimes do fall short, and I can own that. But then after I get past whatever hurdle it is that I'm feeling at that time, I feel so much relief. I genuinely feel so much relief, because I just be like, okay, that was a step forward. Yay me. Celebrate your little victories. Yay me. That was a step forward, because I handled this thing better than what I did before. Okay, I'm going in the right direction. And the only thing you can do if you continuously be consistent in the effort is get better. So celebrate your wins. All right. So this is discomfort and how we are managing it, and how we constantly have to pivot, and just understand that when you're having that conversation, you are talking about it for your current moment. You don't have to get stuck in where it is that you are today. The goal is to recognize where it is that you are today, but know that there is a journey for you to go further. Be like, this is how far I come. Ooh, look back at it. Look back at it and be like, ooh, I was there and now I'm here. Oh, if I'm here now, just imagine where I'm going. Okay. You got, pat yourself on the back. Pat yourself on the back. All right. So I want to thank you for joining me this week. Beautiful people, if you enjoyed this episode, please hit all those buttons, that subscribe, the notifications, the like, give a comment. I want to make sure that this content is getting to the people that it resonates with, so that we can build this community. I want you to have a wonderful week. And of course, I will see you next week on Balanced Life. So stay healthy, stay happy, stay balanced.